Flare. Okay, so wow. Mute that. Wow. There you are, Eric. There you are. Why did I? Cool.
How do I mute it?
So on the Twitch volume, you just mute it.
Let's see. Full screen settings. Where is?
Let me just do a little. I don't want to stretch this out too much. Let us do this. No. Yeah, that works. That works. So how you
Echo?
do you? I don't hear an echo. You probably hear an echo because you have something.
Oh, turn notifications off. No, I don't know where to play with the volume. I'm so useless.
No, so your Discord stuff is fine, but when you go on Twitch,
Uh huh.
um, just mute it. Like mute the video volume on there. Are you confused? Whoa, who's here? Who's watching
Okay.
already?
Okay. I muted it.
Cool. All right, I guess we could start. Let us start with introducing yourself. This is Eric. Eric, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Eric.
Okay, so Eric and I used to work together at an unnamed hotel for about, well, at least I worked there for 5 years, but he's worked there for a long time. But then this unnamed hotel kind of did something bad.
Yeah, it's called being furloughed. Yeah,
Well,
I worked for 9 years. But they didn't need me anymore.
well, for now, I don't know. It's them hotel politics. But
Hmm.
okay, like give a bit brief history of how like for your project you were talking about how you just did like a critical self-review. Do something like that. Like, okay, I was born in California.
Mhm. Oh, um, you can hear me really well, right?
Yeah.
I put the headphones on, right?
Hmm.
Let's see. Um, very interesting stuff right now.
Oh, thank you, AutoHost. Thanks. You got any questions for my friend while you're here?
Okay, so yeah, I was born in California. I lived there till I hit that high school age, and then I lived in Vegas since 2000, almost 20 years. Um, what did I talk about that in that video you saw?
Well, you talked about how you grew up in California, and then you talked about how many siblings you had and all that. And then, well, my thing is like when you moved in Vegas, like you said you moved a lot, right? Like, so you didn't really have a chance to make any friends and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I was always a loner. It just we moved a lot in Southern California, Fontana. I was born in El Monte, Fontana, Pomona. Then we got to Vegas. It's just I never had that strong like friendships or Yeah, but I guess it doesn't even matter. It's high school. Those. Everyone grows apart anyway after high school. Camille? Do you ever talk to anybody from high school?
I do actually.
You do?
Like I came from, well, Victorville. It's a pretty
Hmm.
small town, and I don't know. Like with me, I always like keeping in touch with my friends. Then like I still have. I don't don't know. I still have a lot of friends that I still talk to in high school, and like some of them stream on Twitch, um and I don't know. We're all like close knit, so I never really like. Yeah, we're not like close, but like I still like talk to them, and especially when you're Filipino, the Filipino community over there in Victorville or just anywhere, they're like really close knit, and like I guess
Mhm.
that's it's like that for a lot of minority groups
Mhm.
where all the moms and the dads and the uncle, like everybody like always keeps in touch. So my mom talks to my friend's mom, and then so it ends up being that situation where like, oh, I'm like, we call them tita, like it's like how tia, like,
Mhm.
so in Filipino it'd be like tita or tito, so it's kind of the
Oh,
same thing.
oh, that's nice. I'm glad you're able to keep in touch with those people. But it sounds like also it's just that does seem like a lot close knit. That's family there, not just your high school friends. And they are using words like tita or tito.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the Filipino culture at least, that's I don't know, we just established that sense of family. Like even like when I visited the Philippines once or a couple times, you would call them like older brother or older sister in our language, like so it's weird when I go to other countries that are not really that close knit, like I don't know. There was parts of Europe where it's really like harsh,
Mm-hmm.
and people like to keep to themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess that explains how I am, where I'm like really open with random people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but I guess you could like, would you say that because you being Hispanic, right? Would you say that kind of is similar in a way?
That is true. Yeah, we're definitely family oriented and close knit and everything. But I don't know. We moved around so much, and so then my mom too. You can kind of say like we're all didn't have that connections. We didn't stay a place long enough. We only had each other. So if my mom moved around a lot, she rarely came in touch with those friends. I think I was telling you about this. How there's some others who, yeah, that they can juggle things and prioritize, make time for people. And then sometimes, a mother just has her kids and that's her priority. That's her connections.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe have a few coworkers that they socialize with. Maybe it's just at work or it says, someone she can talk to. But yeah, definitely my mom was one of those that's just gonna focus on her kids. Now that I could see that she was gonna getting sad at some point when we started to move away, leave the nest. So
Mm-hmm.
we still, my sister's still there, so she has one left.
In
But
Cali?
no, right now she lives here in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Uh, yeah, so of course, her favorite left the nest already, so that's me.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. So, like, does a part of you wish that you kind of had that chance to make childhood French?
I don't know. You get used to being alone and just uh, you have that time. You make the time for yourself. But
Hmm.
then when I reached that age, uh, I started going to college, and I would make one or two friends, and I really just my friendships are important to me now. Um, but I don't cast like I told you this before. I don't cast a wide net and try to meet so many people and try to.
Right.
And that's funny the way the type of person I am, because you see how in the office we would work, how I could joke with anybody at any time.
Right. Right.
It just comes out like it just. I mean, I found myself in college. I knew who I was, and then it really just I was brought out of my shelf my shelf so I could talk to anybody, and I could just talk to anybody. I could just joke with anybody, and if and I sense people's personality and what type of jokes I can use or not use, and but that doesn't make them my friends. There's
Yeah.
only those certain people that I let into my headset, my mind space. Where it's like it could be um, I guess my insecurities. And then maybe
Right.
sometimes yeah, I'd rather keep those locked away. But if I let you into some of my insecurities, then you know that I definitely trust you and I want you in my life. And and then I start feeling insecure about the people that I get close to.
In
Because
what
then
way?
I want to make sure I'm being a good friend and they stay in my life.
Okay. I see.
Um,
Well, I mean, that's true. I mean, I think like, especially as we get older, like, yeah, when you're a kid, you want to fit in and everything, but even now, like, I realize like I have so little fucks to give right now. You know what I
mhm,
mean? So like,
mhm,
yeah, it's nice to appear to be like that nice person, like, but at the end of the day, like, especially in a work environment, like when we used to be in hospitality, where you had to put up that like fake, not fake. I mean, it depends how you are, but like
mhm.
that, like, oh, let's put on that smile. And I think it's mainly because we just want to be professional, and we have to be in that environment where we just have to maintain those professional boundaries. So you can't
Mhm.
be an asshole, you know? And
Oh,
especially if you
definitely.
want to move up, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I was able to, I went into work. I didn't go into work making friends. I just, the first year was just all about, oh, you have that mindset. You want to keep the job, you need the money, and you just focus on doing the job. And then as you get comfortable and as you move up, like I did, then that's when I could focus on like, well, let's see, who's around here. Like, these are nice people who maybe I want to see them outside of work.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can like goof around after that. But
And that's where we're at right now, basically. Like, I think the same thing happened to me, like, especially towards when I was moving, moving out of over there. Like, I already reached like a certain place where I was like, okay, I think I'm comfortable here. Because I did the same thing too, where I was like, oh, I'm just gonna not talk to anybody and just like work my ass off. And then like I did it, like I made it as far as I could. Then I mean, if I stayed there, I'm pretty sure I would have been Barbara. Or
well, yeah, I know what you mean because that's me too. Like at some point when I hit manager, I'm like, this could be the future. But then the Rona came, and it's like, no, it's not the future. Hospitality is not the future.
and
Instead,
yeah,
you hear that CES just canceled their next the 2021 CES is canceled.
yeah, I heard
So
about
it's
that
like,
too.
yeah. So remember, we would always be busy New Year's Eve, and then we would be busy again the following week because CES would always be that following week, yeah, that whole week, and then after that it would be dead. Now it's just gonna be dead. January, there's nothing going on in January.
Yeah.
I heard, I heard next month we're like next week we're or the hotel we used to work at, it'll be 14%.
Mm-hmm. When
Yeah.
this time of year, it's usually sold out to the brim.
Oh yeah. July is the busiest. August then it starts to slow down. So I don't know what's gonna happen there. You heard of Venetian? It's just they're doing they're gonna continue to pay their employees
Mhm.
who've been furloughed, I think, or no, not furloughed.
Only their benefits, though.
No, the benefits, but they also pay.
Really? I feel
Yeah.
like they haven't learned their lesson. I don't know. Like, yeah, it seems good, and you want to keep people on your payroll, but like, it also costs so much money to keep the lights on, and property tax. Like, I know at the hotel I work at right now, it's like $2 million for property taxes for that year, at least. So I can't imagine a big place like the Venetian with a larger, I don't know, it's like a larger hotel.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard that CES like usually generates like 6 billion for that weekend alone, like a stupid amount of money. But like, because everyone's involved in that, the Teamsters, because you have to set up the banquets and all that
Oh,
stuff, and
yeah,
of course
that's another
hotels.
thing that a lot of them are leaving the state because I just read an article too that there's no conventions in town, so they have no work. There's nothing going on in Vegas. I'm just reading up on that too.
Yeah, I've been like looking into that as well, just because I feel like Vegas emphasized so much on tourism and not so much on anything else. So of course, since Corona happened, we, not that much tourism is going on. And what do you think about that? Like, do you think Vegas should go restructure its whole city so it's not so dependent on hotels? And because that's essentially why you guys are struggling right now, because you're all about hotels. You can't do no concerts because we can't have no crowds. So what are your thoughts?
Oh yeah, it's just what's the point of visiting Vegas? What are you gonna do in Vegas? Stay in your hotel the whole time? There's nothing to do.
And they close down the bars, huh?
And the bars are closed. They closed 3 weeks ago, I believe. And yeah, there's no work. Is it just me and you right now?
um and two people. Two people
Oh,
watch.
really?
I always have people stalking me. I'm just kidding. I'm
And then
just
suddenly goes zero. Everyone leaves.
no, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just fine, just like seeing who I get, and then it's because I don't really do this. This is my second podcast, so
Uh huh.
we'll see how it goes.
Maybe we can come up with topics, and then I mean, this is just like an introduction. Even for me, like I've never done something like this, or you know.
Well, I think it's great that we dip your toes into this because I always thought you were very like talkative, and I
Mhm.
think you have a lot of great things to say sometime.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah,
think
we had a great conversation the other day. Was it Monday or Tuesday? We should have used that, but I guess we can't even use names anyway. So. But yeah, we covered some great topics. Maybe we can come up with like
fake names.
fake names. Also, we can what else should we talk about? Like we can come up with topics. Sound like they did in Market Mercedes. You know, like they will have like a theme going on. You know, and then they would just go for an hour and they just talk and then.
Okay, so all right, so you are a gay Hispanic man, right? Okay, so when I know in the Hispanic culture, like it's kind of like not the thing, right? Because Hispanic men they want to be like macho and all that, right? But like when did you realize that you liked men?
Oh, it's one of those things you've always known. It's like
So you always felt like you were like I like boys. Was that
yeah,
you?
it's true with anybody. You know, you like what you like, and you know, there was no guilt on my end. You know, I remember elementary, middle school. You know, I had my my crushes with the girls, and then later I remember in middle school I liked Meredith, and it was this girl, and then she had the same last name as this like jock there, so they could have been like siblings. His name was Chris, and one day I was like, I don't know, I just kind of like I saw him and I'm like, whoa, I'm like I want to be close to him, I want to get to know this guy, and it wasn't about friendship. It's like I just like in my mind I didn't know yet. It's like it was more than just wanting to be friends with someone. It's just like I saw this guy and I always just like thought about him, and I always see him through the he was a jock too, but that was middle school. So then in high school, when I realized I was gay, was I was walking in the hallways, I was like minding my own business, I was a loner, and then I ran into this guy, and then I bumped into him, and I looked straight in his eyes, and then that's when I knew like, oh, I'm gay. Like I don't know, like I just I got like an immediate attraction, and it's like, oh, there's this guy, and so I used to like I would see him, and then I don't know if you remember high school having crushes, and then you would start to you thought about them, you eventually saw them, you started seeing, oh, okay, they have this class at this time, and then when you would walk to one class, oh, they're going to their
Oh,
class, and
then you would
eventually
like
it's like,
find out their class schedule, and then you'd find ways to bump into
no,
them.
no, not that extreme, because I would always know, okay, they have science, and then now they're heading to, or now they're on their lunch, and they hang out by the courtyard, and so.
So it started pretty young. Like, so did your relatives, like your parents and your siblings, know about it, or did you had to do a coming out kind of thing?
I did it one day. I was bored.
You're
Actually,
bored.
I was bored. I was 19, I think. 19, maybe I was 20, 21. Uh, I had a crush. I always had my intense crushes, but it was like I would think about them all the time, and it was just I would not, I could never do anything because I just didn't know what they felt or how they thought. Um,
Were they with friends or just like random acquaintances? Dun dun
one of
dun.
no, no, no. One was he was a manager at my old work. I used to spray paint, and one I have a big crush on him. So one day I went into his office and I'm like, I can't stop thinking about you.
What?
And then
How did he
yeah,
react?
he went, oh, he said, oh, I'm not gay, but I have gay friends and I could be your friend too. So I was like, oh, thank you. So that day I was just like so pumped, and so I went home and I told my mom like, oh, mom, I have to tell you something, and she was like, what is it? And I'm like, oh, I'm gay, and so she was like, oh, we had a cry, we talked a lot. She's like, you've always been so special to me, So it was like a very good, just one of those a great memories. Just like I came out to her and she accepted me, and then we moved on, and we came closer. I never came out technically to my siblings. It was just like, oh,
They knew, like they had a feeling.
yeah, they just I never like sat them down and had made a show of it, or not even my dad. My dad is just I didn't even came out. I didn't come out to him. I just kind of like, oh, this is my husband, Joe. Like,
So like you were
oh, you're
already
invited to,
already done and like, hey, it's
yeah,
my husband.
you're
Deal with
invited
it.
to our wedding. You're invited to our wedding, and then he didn't go. But then he didn't go to my brother's wedding with his wife. So he's I guess bad parent overall to both. um, no matter if you're straight or gay, he won't show up to your wedding.
Wow. Well, at least you had a good experience overall, because I know a lot of other people don't have that privilege where they had that support, especially coming out.
Mhm.
I don't know. And then it's just it's a good thing that happened to you. You know, that
Mhm.
everyone just was accepting about it. Like I'm
Mhm.
surprised because like
Yeah, I see. I've heard horror stories, and I've seen so many people. Or I've heard, people get sad and they become suicidal because it's just not accepted. But I
yeah,
got lucky. I just, came out to someone at work, and they're like, "I'll be your friend." And then I came out to my mom, and you're special to me. I came out, you know, now as I meet new people, I'm just out. I don't have to hide anymore. I mean,
hmm
at work, it's something I don't want to discuss or talk about, and people never ask me, so I never say it.
right. It's because it's work. Like you don't
Yeah.
really
Like, what does it matter who I'm sleeping with or who I'm, you know?
married to or whatever. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So like what do you think about that that judgment of like oh gay people fall in love with their best friends like people getting jealous over that like what do you think about that that
I never
line?
thought about that. Elaborate.
Well no like how for example people get jealous like oh your gay best friend's gonna fall in love with you blah blah like did you ever experience that like falling for your friend kind of thing
Oh, that's a good
along the
question.
way?
No, um, uh, I think it's happened like, let me think, because it has happened where I'm friends with a guy and we were just friends, and uh, then after maybe years, maybe one day.
You just saw him differently. Is that what happened?
Yeah, but then it went back. We became. I just never did anything about it. They were just friends in my head, and then it went back. But it could. There might be a trigger where I'm like, oh, 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 I shouldn't be thinking like this. It's not very common though.
It's not. Well, at least
I'm
for
very
you.
no. If you're my friend, you're my friend. If I was interested in you, I'm definitely. Once I came out, it was just easier for me to be straightforward. Depending on who it was. Like if I liked them or not, I pursued you. If you didn't show interested, I dropped it. But uh, so far, friendships, if when you're my friend, you're my friend.
Well, that's good.
I,
Because
but I guess
some people be playing games and some people belong in the streets, you know? Well,
but
that's good.
I've seen the jealousy to say certain friends, um, if they have their girlfriends or wives, they might be jealous of our friendship because I feel like being gay and then you have a straight male friend, it's like you can bond in a very different way than you can bond with another straight guy. A lot of men, I think, are so closed off with their emotions.
Yeah.
But when certain straight men and me, I'm more open about certain things. They can be open, and then I think in a way, men are expected to be uh, mentally neutered or something, or emotionally, like they can't really express themselves. And
Right.
but then I when they're in my circle, I allowed them to be more open about what they feel and what they think, and they and I can see that they get attached too because we have a different bond than they would have with their other
Wives
male
even.
straight friends. Or even their wives. Yeah, maybe they can talk about things they wouldn't talk to their straight friends about,
Right.
or they could really go into detail. I can't think of anything specific right now, but I've seen it. And then sometimes, yeah, maybe their girlfriends or wives might get jealous of that relationship too. Like, why do you have to, hang out with him? And I can see that they get insecure, but I'm not there to take their man.
Right, right.
Uh, I guess if I wanted him,
I
I would
could
have.
have. The sass. No, like no, I understand what you mean. Especially when you establish that emotional connection, like you mentioned before. It's hard to just throw that away.
Mhm.
So, and I feel like a lot of people, especially like heterosexual couples, where there's the stereotypical the man has to be the man of the house and the woman has to do all the women things, and I see why that dynamic you would have with like a straight friend and you, for example, like I think that's it sounds pretty cool from my point of view because you're able to provide that service. I guess I should say
Mhm.
where some people don't. Yeah, that's cool. Where's your drink?
I didn't get a drink. Maybe I'll get an energy drink.
I'm just drinking my favorite old Waterloo. Not sponsored yet. Will one day I'll be sponsored.
I never heard of that. I never heard of that drink. Let me grab an energy drink. I had one. It's over here somewhere. Let me 1 second.
For real? Oh, who's tuned in? Homegirl's tuned in. Hey, homegirl. Oh, it's hot. I forgot to turn the air on. Now for an intermission. Just kidding. Um, Run, Eric, run. Get your drink. Cool. You missed all the fun. Jasmine, are you in the chat? are you watching us right now? I just told Eric to get a drink. So he's gonna make a drink real quick. Everyone's getting married. Well, let's turn on some intermission music then. Yeah. I hope I don't get copyright. So it's gonna be random. I guess I just turned on an ad. Okay, I'll be back. Wow, let me fix this. Okay, Eric, you back?
I am back.
Ooh.
Did you pause it? We were in a commercial break.
Oh yeah, I could turn on commercials now.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. So I didn't know how long you're gonna be, but we got 5 people. We got 5 viewers. Say hello. Hey chat. Ask us questions. And I turned on some waiting music. Okay. Cool. All right, so I guess we'll continue where we last left off. Yeah.
You guys reading the Bible?
We're reading. Juan is back from work, and he's like, "Are you guys reading the Bible?" Yes.
Is that the Biblia?
The La
Bible
Biblia. It's a Bible study.
Is that the Biblia? I want to see.
Mind over former ex-gay work husband. Yes. He was my gay work husband. Okay. Oh, Juan says hi. Do you have any questions, mind over matter, for my gay work husband, my ex-gay work husband? But yeah, so back on the whole like boundary. At least you were able to distinguish that, right? Like so, oh, you're my friend, and so you don't lead your straight friends on. Like, have you ever gone to that hoe mode? Like, have you ever experienced a a hoe mode, like a hoe phase?
Oh, I hope for me.
Yeah.
No, I never got a chance to, and now I'm married.
You never got a chance to?
But next time, if I'm not married,
Next time.
then I will. I'll be
Next time. No, like I never. Yes, I have. So what happened? What do you mean? What do you mean? What happened? Like explain. Like what? Why he's my ex-work husband? Because I moved. I moved properties. That's why.
America, explain.
America. But like, okay, so you never, because I've heard some stories from other friends that they're just like that community kind of leans towards the promiscuity kind of thing, because like you don't have to worry about getting pregnant or anything, right? Like, do you have any crazy stories on your end?
No, I'm a very boring gay. But I've heard stories, and I've had many friends who, they have their apps. They have their Adam for Adams, Grinder, Gruff, where they can hook up, on a drop of a hat. But I think
Oh,
I have straight friends too who have those apps. I have my women friends who are like Plenty of Fish. I think that's an app. For
okay.
straight people. They're hooking up. I mean,
Something actually happened in my work where we had to let two employees go because they had, I guess I don't know the name of that app, but it's like it's based on how your proximity. So if someone has that app and they're nearby, you could just like, I don't know, hook up with them. So
Yeah, of course.
one of my employees made a match with someone who was staying at the hotel,
Oh my god.
and they didn't know until I don't know how it got out, but he got let go.
Oh.
But yeah, so I thought that was kind of funny and sad at the same time because he was actually a decent employee, but then
Yeah.
he got himself into that situation. Okay, I got a fun question to ask you. I got a couple of fun questions that I wrote down. What's something that people seem to misunderstand about you at first glance? Like if they didn't get the chance to get to know you at first.
Hmm. I don't know. I think. Oh, excuse me. Can you repeat the question?
What's something that people misunderstand about you? Like at first glance, like, oh, you have a resting bitch face, so I thought you were a bitch, kind of thing. Like before they actually get to know you, and then once they actually do get to know you, what would they tell you?
Oh. I I always have a wall up. I think.
Yeah.
And I hide myself in a with my humor. I'm always joke. Um, and it's with anybody, with everybody. I think once you get past the jokey person, that's when you'll get to know me. But so then I've never been accused of being an asshole or anything.
Okay, that's good.
So
Because I know when I first met you, you were exactly what you said, like jokey, happy go lucky. always like
Mm-hmm.
making them sarcastic remarks.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I've gotten to know you a little better, I think you're a lot more open than
Mm-hmm.
what you appear to be. Because I think, yeah, like you said, what are you guys drinking? Oh, I'm drinking Waterloo. It's just sparkling water that's strawberry flavored. What
And
are you
I'm
drinking?
having a Monster Ultra Rosa. Yeah.
What
I thought it
flavor?
was too early to start drinking. It's only 4:54 right now.
Did you just say too early?
Well, I was drunk last night. I had like
Oh.
5 wine. I had 5 glasses of wine, and I took something. I took a gummy.
Oh,
So I was
okay.
like, yeah,
Oh, so you're caffeinated.
yeah. So like,
Caffeinated.
I'm like, maybe it's a bit too early to drink, but maybe not. If you drink, I'll drink.
I work tomorrow. I can't.
What time is it?
Over here it's like almost 6. It's like 5:54.
One second. Just giving me a call.
So how about you, chat? How y'all doing today? Mind over matter. What are you drinking?
Okay, I'm here with Camille. We're doing the podcast.
Yeah, I do work in the hotel industry. Me and Eric used to
Oh, we've
work
been doing it for 6 minutes.
together at a fancy 5-star hotel. An unnamed 5-star hotel. You got any questions about that? Yeah, so someone in our chat just asked if we worked in the hotel industry. Yes, we do.
I don't.
For now. For now.
Mhm.
You may call it furlough, I call it for now.
For now.
For now.
That's a good one.
I know, right? I kind of try. I kind of try. You would have liked to work in a hotel, might never matter. How is it? I guess it depends on the type of hotel you work for. Because I know the hotel that we used to work at was intense. Well, like, what would you say about the hotel we used to work at, Eric?
5-star standards. Always busy. They squeeze the juice out of you. But
Exactly. That's how it
Yeah.
feels like to work for a 5-star hotel.
yeah, but they pay well, so they feel like it's their right to squeeze everything out of you.
Yeah, I guess
Make
if you
sure
just want to spend your time working like nonstop but making a lot of money, then yeah, go to Vegas and work for a hotel. But not right now because coronavirus is ruining everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess overall, I think it's for me. I thought it was kind of magical. Like if you're a guest, like oh wow, everything is pristine and beautiful, and everything runs on the clock. You know, when at least when I was over there, like I was pretty thankful that I worked in that hotel because I've learned so much about operations and like going back on the whole 5-star details, like everything is so detail oriented to the minute. I don't know, like everything is anal, like like super 5-star. So they would care about the angles, right? Like how you angle the chair, how you angle the door, and then when it comes to every process, like from checking in to the whole like opening the doors, like okay, they rate the experience of like okay walking in the premises, they rate that, they rate whether or not employees greet you, and then when you check in there's like a process that's rated upon too. So like because I trained with front desk for a little bit, and then they had standards they had to hit, so they have to ask all these questions, like you have to hit 3 points and features of the hotel, and then you have to make sure you ask the guest name or say the guest name while you're checking the guests in, and this has to be done in less than a minute, right? So you have to like turn it on, like you have to be always on it, and that's how it was in that environment. You had to be on it all the time. right, Eric? Is that like, do you think like you felt a lot of pressure in that?
Oh yeah, I mean, they thought of everything, and and yeah, there was always a lot of stress to making sure you got it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But like you get used to it kind of thing, right? So
yeah. You actually become like a like a fine tune
machine.
machine. Like eventually, you just and then you get I think you learn how to deal with stress also. Like eventually, it didn't stress me out. I don't get stressed out
Yeah, actually,
easily now.
I think the same with me too, because when I first transitioned into the current hotel I'm in right now, oh, how does it feel like work when everybody's on in vacation? I mean, I'm sure it has a party vibe to it. Like I wouldn't say that too much. I guess it depends on the day, really. Like usually we don't have time to have too much fun, right? Would you say that? Because like it's easy to assume like it's always a party in Vegas, not for the workers. Definitely not for not for the workers for sure. Right? Would you agree?
Not for us. Yeah, we're like the behind the scenes, and yeah, you get to see sometimes a celebrity here and there, and you're like, oh,
I know.
but
I met David
you're
Spade.
not allowed to talk to them or ask for an autograph. You will be
Yeah.
fired. But there are some guests they'd be like, take a shot with us, or I never did. I wish I had.
Right. I think we all wish we had, but
Yeah, and then we have our guests who are so anal. I'm like, why travel? Why are you leaving your home if you want certain things to be? Uh, but there's
I
some
remember
guests.
that, especially being rooms control where you had to prep it a certain way. Like the guest wants 3 humidifiers in certain position, and they want the stars to align, and then they want everything hypoallergenic. Like, boy, why are you even traveling if you're so high maintenance, kind of thing. And then especially the guests that get so angry, like so angry. Like, why are you so angry? Like, especially for like a tiny piece of trash. Or I hate it when like there's a guest that gets so mad when you don't clean their room. Like, so you want me to clean your, like, I know that's our job and everything, but like especially when we miss their service on accident, and then they're like, how dare you not clean my room? Blah blah blah.
No, I had one guest with she was having a meltdown. She made her room dirty, and she left. When she came back, her room was dirty. She's like, I have I'm on vacation. I have kids to leave a big mess in my house, and I'm here to relax. And I just walked into this mess. Well, you made this mess.
I know. It's like,
That's your own mess. You're angry with your own mess. I know it should have been clean, but it's your own fault you left the privacy sign, and we're not gonna go through the privacy. But man, she was having a meltdown. She was practically slowly dropping from the wall, like sliding down. Man, like it's your own mess.
yeah, like to me, I still don't understand why. But like us being managers, we have to be like, I apologize, blah blah blah. The end. That's all.
Yeah.
The end with that. But yeah, I think it was fun. You hate those people
hmm Yeah,
too.
one time I shouted at one of the guests because she was like, "Oh, I've got food poisoning." And I'm like, "Well, I don't work." I'm
Like,
like, "I was just
I'm
trying
with
to
the
do some."
housekeeping department. What do you want me to do? Like,
Yeah, she's like, "My room's a mess." I'm like, "I'm sorry. I'm here to clean your room." And then she's like, "Oh, you just keep saying sorry. That's all you can say." And I'm like, and then I snapped at her. I'm like, "That's all I can do. That's all. This is all I can say." And I set her up. She just sat down. She was moping. And then I'm like, "Okay, everything's done. Anything else you need?" "No, thank you. Thank you for cleaning my room."
have you ever like snapped like and gone ghetto, or is that the most you've ever snapped at a
I think
guest?
that's the most. But people want to hear about that. They want to hear about all the people we walked in on naked.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we do a thing in the hospitality industry where we have to check the room status, right? Like when a guest checks out. But sometimes a lot of the guests don't even communicate that they've actually checked out of the room. Jekyll, Jekyll, how are you? Sorry. A lot of the guests usually, especially at a hotel as big as the hotel we worked at, where there's thousands of rooms, not everyone communicates when they checked out. So we have to like check those rooms and be like, did these guests check out? And then I'm like, why would you do this when you're about to check out? You know, like you couldn't have done this like last night, right? But yeah, there's occasions when we walked into people naked. I'm like, okay, bye. You're still here, Kim. I'm just gonna tell the front desk that y'all are still okay. You
Well,
finish.
one time when I cleaned the room, I barely finished it, and when you clean the room, you have to update the room through the phone, and I forgot to do that. I was already in my next room, and I'm like, oh, I didn't update the room, so I ran back into the room. Somehow within 5 minutes, the guest had walked back in, got naked, and then just sat on her. She's just sitting on the couch reading a magazine, watching in the news. It was like 3:45 in the afternoon, and she just walked in there. I didn't even see her walk in. I was really embarrassed. I guess I just ran back in there. I just left like 5 minutes, and she was already back there. I'm like, and she was like, ah.
Like, what you like? I think it's funny how people just end up getting full out and naked, like it's their own home. Like, yeah, you paid for the room, but like, there's still the possibility of someone walking in there, right?
always lock your door double bolted.
Yeah, deadbolt your room and then put the privacy light if you don't want that to happen, y'all. That's the secret. Like, as if that privacy light is off, we technically have the right to walk in.
Yeah.
Oh, mind over
It was
matter.
my own fault. I didn't even knock. It was my own fault. But,
You didn't knock? Oh, that's your fault too.
Yeah, I didn't knock. But like I said, it was like maybe less than 5 or between 5 to 10 minutes. after I had
Damn.
left. So
5 minutes.
she got naked really quickly.
And then mind over matter saying, I gotta be honest, if I worked in a hotel, I would feel a lot of sexual tension.
Uh-huh.
All of those beds, all
You know
those
what?
one night stayers. I mean, come on.
I just remember, Camille, I told you I had that sleep apnea test study. I spent the night.
Oh yeah, you said you didn't
Did I tell
enjoy
you
it.
about that?
You said it was horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible. But it was so you walked into one of the testing rooms, and it was set up like a cheap motel. So
Ew.
it did feel there was something uh, a little dirty about being in there, and then the
Did you check the sheets to
I did
see?
not check this. No,
Womp womp.
I slept in clothes.
Okay, well that's good, but like, did they even change the sheets though? That's the thing. Like, once you work in a hotel, like you start being scared of anytime you travel, because then you know the secrets. Hi, Joe.
Oh, hold on a second. Let me take off the speaker. Want to say hi to Camille?
What's up? Welcome to our podcast.
There's a bit of a lag. Yeah.
Are areas low?
No, I think that's the way it is, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. You can eat those.
Excellent.
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 Huh?
Well, cool. Like, so what was an update to that?
Oh, I haven't gotten any update on that. But it just felt weird. And so then the guy putting the stuff on they put these things like on your head, I guess they test your brain waves, I don't know, or they check on that, and then they put stuff all over my chest. They put these wires all over my legs. I'm like, oh, are you gonna string me on the ceiling?
Like a marionette.
Yeah, that was the joke I was going for. He's like, oh, this isn't Hellraiser. Oh, that's a good one. It's just so very weird just being alone in a room and someone else is like putting the stuff on you, and it's like, and at some point when I was sleeping with my stomach, I was on my side, and ass sticking out, and then like he came back in the room to fix my wires, and I felt like I'm in a very vulnerable position right now.
Ew. Okay.
Like,
Hi, Sophian. I'm good. This is my friend, and we're doing an interview. How are you? How's Libya? Sophian over here is from Libya, so it's like what time is it? It's like 4 a.m. in the morning there, or something. Thanks for stopping by so early. Wow, Eric, you got fans. Look at that. You got an OnlyFans.
We'll start our OnlyFans next.
Right? Well, we'll see. I'm still on the bench about Libya. There's war there? Is there war? Sophian, is there a war going on still? I thought that was done. Oh my gosh, 2 a.m. Dang. Well, thanks for logging in and seeing us. Okay, I have another random question. Okay, I'm gonna ask. The Turks are taking over Libya? Oh, so there is still a war. Them Turkish. Okay, Eric, if you had a billboard and if you could have anything on it, what would it be and why?
Billboard?
Yeah, like if you could buy a billboard.
What is it?
Joe seems to want to answer the question.
I'll just get him the remote though.
Oh. Oh, the war is over, yeah.
Let me move. I'm gonna go to a different stuff.
Okay. Scene change.
Maybe I should go in the back.
Isn't it hot though? Isn't it still 100 something? You're gonna be sweaty. Sweaty stream. Ew, it's 111 out there. You crazy? Alright. He's doing it for the stream, y'all. You should subscribe. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, that's warm right there.
Eee. Cool. So, what else did you do today? Anything fun out there in Vegas?
Today? No, I just went to drop off my. Oh, is it dark right here? That's pretty dark, right?
Oh yeah, Sophie, and why does that happen? Do you just live in a bad spot where life sucks? How? What? So explain life in Libya right now. Like, why does the electricity go out often? Do they restrict how much electricity you get? That's kind of... No. All Libya sucks. Are you able to move then? Well, hopefully you get to move. Because I would flip out. I would flip a switch. I'm just kidding. Yeah, but what kind of billboard would you get?
That's a really weird question. I I don't know how to answer that. How would you answer that?
If I were to get a billboard, it would be a painting. Like, it would be either something I took a picture of, and then I'd try to market it, like camp photography. I don't know, or have a nice picture and then just have a saying, like a deep saying. Because you know, in Vegas, there's these stupid billboards like about divorce. Like, you see those right all the time.
They also have a lot of those Lee Liquor billboards.
Lee Liquor.
Yeah.
And then there's those God shaming ones, like God knows what you did. Have you seen those billboards? God, like whatever stays in Vegas, except God knows what you did in Vegas. You've seen those, right?
That sounds familiar. They probably took that one down.
But you can't think of what kind of billboard?
I can't think of a billboard. Maybe a blank one.
A blank billboard.
Something... Yeah.
They cut the electricity to pay Turkey? What? That's crazy.
Uh, pretty good.
Well, I feel like I should learn more about that, Sophian. That's unfortunate though. I'm sorry that you have to deal with that. But what else do you have to say, Eric, about the hotel industry overall? Because you've been with the hotel industry for 10 years, basically, right?
Yeah. Um, I don't know what's gonna happen with the hotel industry. It just the borders are closed. No one can travel anywhere. No one can come see any type of show, concerts, events, sporting events.
And that I mean that's all Vegas is about, right? Like
Yeah, you go,
conventions.
not just at conventions. You go see you want to see a show. You stay in the hotel you like, and then there's the whole strip to choose from. What do you got now? Just gambling. Get away from the home a little bit, but
But nobody really gambles anymore, right? Like I feel like the only people who are gambling over there are the high rollers or like the ones that make stupid amounts of money, like throw down
hmm
25K or 100K, like no big deal.
hmm
Oh, okay. Thanks, Sophie. And my day so far was good. I'm just hanging out with you guys, you know, and we're just hanging out and learning more about my friend here, my ex gay husband. Do you have any questions for us? Like, okay, I guess you might have to do a brief reintroduction of yourself for the new people who just tuned in. This is Eric. We used to work together at a five-star, five diamond hotel, but now I'm here in Colorado. He's still there in Vegas, and we're
and now
just
I've been
chatting.
furloughed, so I have all this extra time to kill. So Camille's like, "Come, join me. Let's have a conversation." We've been having some great conversations, Camille and I, off screen, or you know,
Yeah.
into some deep stuff. So we're like, let's share with your followers.
Ah, Sophian says hi.
Hi. Yeah.
Oh, so Sophian, like, okay, this is my friend, right, from Libya, okay? And he expressed how he has a stutter.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
yeah, so what are some things that you would suggest for his situation where you want to improve upon, like, because Eric here is a great public speaker. He's a great speaker. I'm just letting y'all know.
Well, I was forced to do it. It was part of the job. You can't. I kept moving up, and it's just getting out there and practicing, and you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Sophian. I think that's all you have to do.
It's all about practice. And
Practice,
getting
practice.
comfortable. At the end of the day, people are not. I mean, I don't know.
Wait, what were you gonna finish? Finish. At the
Uh,
end of the day, what?
I think you put more stress on yourself on how you're gonna communicate, then people will remember at the end.
Yeah, I think that's so true. Cause like if you care too much, I don't know. Like if you care too much of how you're gonna sound and all that, you don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Maybe you seen a guy that had a stutter all his life, then took magic mushrooms, and then during this he stopped. I don't know. That's an option for you, but like I don't really advocate mushrooms. I heard those are hardcore. But yeah. So are you enjoying our podcast so far, chat? You got any other questions for us being hoteliers? For us being weirdos? I don't know, or just general life questions, we'll answer them. I would say Eric is pretty knowledgeable on a lot of topics. Nobody gets Oh, so nobody goes to COVID Vegas? I wouldn't say about that. That hasn't stopped people from going there, right?
No, I think we're getting a lot of Californians
A lot of Californians, a lot of neighboring tourists.
driving over, but at the same time, our occupancy levels are very low compared to what it should be during the summer. It's kind of crazy how last year I was thinking I could be a director or I could be move up in the hotel industry, and now I'm not working anymore.
Well,
And then
for now.
would I go back if they call me? I'm not sure if I would.
You don't want to go back to that? I mean, I guess it's kind of nice.
I do believe a lot of things happen for a reason. So
Mm-hmm.
you get pushed over. Sometimes it's like fate. It decides for you, and then you're like, okay, I'm in a different area now. What do I do? And it just let it come to you. I don't know. I've always felt that my life's been guided a certain way.
I
This
think
is the
that's
second time I've
everybody.
been live. What's that?
Wait, the second time you've been what?
Laid off, and I ended up going somewhere better. So I worked from a cabinet place where I spray painted. They shut it down. I ended up at the hotel for close to a decade, and I kept moving up there, learning and observing. And I've always been good at just you know taking in all this information. Um, and now it's happened again, and who knows? Maybe something better will come along.
I always like to think that.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe it's the start of your streaming career. Just saying. just saying. But yeah, I think I kind of felt the same way when I left the win. Like, oh my gosh, I kind of miss it. But then it's like I do have a better opportunity now. I don't know. 'Cause it's easy, especially in that environment when you're so used, because it's so regimented. Like everything, like 2 o'clock you have to do this report, 3 o'clock you have to check your blah blah blah, and then 5 o'clock everything was to a T, right? Like I feel like that's what you get used to, like that schedule, that regimen. Is that what you miss? Kinda,
I just miss the people at this point. I don't
yeah.
really. But after COVID hit, and then we did return to work, it wasn't the same. Something's off about work. It's not a fun place to be out in the world right now, wearing your mask and worried about what you might get. In the end, it's just the people that I miss.
Mhm.
Oh, and the paycheck.
The paycheck, of course.
Yeah.
A lot of people told me to eat weird stuff to get it. And you don't need to eat random stuff. You're fine. You're fine the way you are. But I agree. I agree with that. Like I think that's one thing I miss about the one, just the people, because like you work with that. It's like your second home, basically, right? You're there 8 to 10 hours, sometimes 12, depending on how crazy the day.
Yes.
What? Zombie Panda, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying our podcast. If you have any questions, feel free to ask anything. Whether it be about life, I don't know, dental hygiene, whatever you could think about. But thanks. How are you, Zombie Panda? Let us know in the chat. But anyways, yeah, I think, I don't know, I really do miss everyone there. That's why I always visit. Like, I visit like all as much as I can, if I get the chance to, whenever I get the vacation time.
I know.
Do you feel like ever since I left, like, okay, I don't want to like toot my own horn, but like, do you think anyone could reach my level of excellence? I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm
you're
just kidding.
great.
I'm just
you're
kidding.
A great room controller. I always miss you. We get all these different ones. We get. I don't know. It's just they didn't reach your level. You really loved your job, or maybe you care too much. I know
That's
you
probably
didn't
what
go
it
lunch.
is.
You would skip lunch. I don't know what you would do that. I make sure the room controllers they get their lunch. They go to their lunch.
I don't know, like for me, I never really, because then that's when I started fasting. So I was like, I don't care. Oh, what do you guys? Okay, that's a good question, Sophian. But like for me, I was fasting, and I was like, I don't need lunch, whatever. So that's why I did it, because like it encouraged me to go fasting, and then I actually like hanging out with you guys at the end of my shift. So then that's why I would just eat with you guys, not during my shift when I was supposed to. But what do I think of long distance relationship, or what do we think about long distance relationship? I actually was like, me and my husband started off being long distance, and we were long distance for 2 years, right? Yeah, me and my husband were long distance for 2 years, and I I can't speak for everybody, but it could work. It worked for me and my husband. So, but I think what was different for me and him is that we started we started getting together before all this stuff took off, like all the Tinders, all the Bumbles. Like we started getting together before all that. So I don't know if that has. Oh no, me and Eric, we're not together. Eric is married to a man.
No, but we have a long distance friendship.
Oh yeah, we have a long distance friendship.
I think I've been surprised. It's we talked about this just last Monday. It's all about how much effort you both give it. If
Hmm.
you one of you decides it's not worth it,
Then it's not worth
or
it, and you stop.
you give a little, I give a little, and then it just continues and it's growing. I think we've gotten so much closer than we ever did when we were at the win, and then we were even discussing that, like, we had the same days off. Why didn't we go to the movies? Why didn't we go to the concerts? Why didn't we just spend other times together? And I
Yeah,
kind of miss we missed out on that opportunity, but we finally new opportunities in
and now we're here.
our opinions. I
uh,
just saw I was telling you about this yesterday, the kissing booth on Netflix.
oh yeah, I didn't watch it yet.
I don't know, it's really cute. It's very soap opera-ish, but I felt a lot of the emotions and themes discussed in those movies. I don't know, they really, like, I really could relate. It's about, the kissing booth's about a girl and her best friend, and then she likes her brother. Um,
Okay.
and then but then they have rules. You don't mess around with family. And but anyway, the sequel is about long distance, so they kind of cover that. She
Oh,
just, spoiler alert, she has a long distance relationship in the sequel. So then it's just like there's jealousy. You never know what the other person's doing. But the issue, and then they discover by the end of the movie, is the lack of communication. So
right.
I really like that. Just, yeah, you could both give up and just, you're over here in this side of the world, or you're in this here and I'm over here. I mean, there's no point doing any effort. But no, it's all about communication.
Yeah, it really is, and I think it's mainly establishing that trust, and of course, trust is established through communication. Like, I hate it when people are like they're not comfortable with like saying certain things to their partner or like whoever they're with. Like, dude, like why doesn't your wife know, or why doesn't your girlfriend know? Like, and
Hmm.
people, I like when it starts being secretive, especially in a long distance relationship. Like, what's the point? If you can't even tell the person you supposedly care about the most your deepest emotions. I don't know, that's just me.
Well, something I learned though too is like this. I don't know. I think with friends it's a little bit different. You can
Right.
share everything that's in your mind without any judgment.
Hmm.
But I think when you've been with someone for so long and you see them every day and they're your partner, you can't help but feel like there's certain things you just can't share because you
Right.
share it and then there's like a why,
Oh, like the
there's like a
backlash.
judgment, or it's like, so then it makes you feel like you can't share what you want to share. Um and then I guess, and then I think it grows over time, and that's what maybe happens with when you've been with someone for so long. You start keeping secrets, and I mean you shouldn't, but then it's like, if you don't feel that you have that space, that safe space to communicate, and maybe it does create like an animosity, and then
Right.
you start keeping things away, and then there's certain things you say, and then you get in trouble, and like, well, I'm just sharing my thoughts, I'm just sharing how I feel about this topic, and why am I being attacked? Well, then I'm not gonna tell you about that. I'll just tell it to my friends. um
Oh,
so it just happens.
yeah.
But I mean, but then that's when you sit them down, like, you know what, I'm sharing with you something important, and you shouldn't be talking to me like that. This is how I feel when you do that. So you got to be honest with yourself, and you got to be honest with them, so they
Yeah.
understand. And then you guys can grow, and then they can understand, or they don't
Right.
understand, and you divorce them.
Exactly. No, I think that's the point where most divorces happen, because you reach that point, right, where you kind of, I don't know if it's like a level of comfort or like maybe a level of you taking them for granted.
Hmm.
I don't know. But then if you reach that point where you're just arguing and you don't grow from it, I think that's where the problems happen.
Hmm.
Because then you could either choose like, okay, I really care about this person, and then okay, I'm gonna change, and we're both gonna try to change this together, or you could be like, fuck it, I ain't gonna change. You don't have to change. I'm done. You know. I guess that
Change is
it's hard. It's hard, right?
Yeah, but change is good, especially when it's a bad habit. I mean, some people don't change and they refuse to change, but when you care about someone and they tell you to your face, "This is the issue," and you realize I'm the issue. You realize you're the issue. Then you grow, and you change, not because someone's telling you to, but really you're changing a bad habit or a bad form of being. You can say.
Oh, that's true. Oh, Sophian asked, what if they can't meet for a long time, like they're in different countries? Um, well, for me, I guess you just have to be clear about what you want from each other. Like if you're the type of person who's really affectionate and you need that like physical, I guess, affection from your significant other, then shoot, I don't know, make the fight like when you can. And but some people, I know that becomes an issue, right? Like what's your thought about that? Like people who can't meet for a long time, their significant other.
Um, I'm sorry, I unlocked the new emoji. I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Oh no, because like somebody asked if they can't meet for a long time, their significant other, like what, how would you feel and what would you do, especially if they lived in a different country? I think it's difficult if you're in a different country, but for me, I think I wasn't really like desperate. I'm not needy. So I guess me and him weren't really needy, and we didn't have that insecurity where we're like, "Oh, we're going to go find other people." Like we made it clear like, "Okay, I only want you, you only want me, blah blah." But like it really depends. Like did you ask this person like, "Hey, like what do you really want out of this relationship? Like do you need me to like give you the hugs and kisses and all that stuff, and like, or is it just enough for you guys to just talk every day?" Because like for me, that's how me and my husband got started. We just talked every day, and then we just enjoyed each other's company through there. So what are your thoughts, Eric, on people who can't meet for a long time? But I don't know, I think
I
if you
think
make that an issue.
if you have that spark and you can't see each other, but you have that back and forth between someone, I mean, that could be enough to sustain a relationship. And if you have the patience and you know for sure one day it can happen,
Yeah,
you know, then
I
yeah.
mean, that's enough to keep me going. I don't know about anyone else, but for me.
I mean, yeah. Uh, it depends. You know, are you, is it like a one-on-one relationship where you're not, you know, you're or are you in an open relationship? I
Yeah,
mean, there's a lot of factors to consider.
right. I think that's what you have to talk with your partner about. Like, okay, we are long distance, so how would you feel about us being in an open relationship where I could have that part that I need satisfied? You know, some people are like that. Like some people, some couples are like that where they talk about that, but if you are not into that, then make it clear like, hey, I don't want us to see anyone else, I don't want us to be in an open relationship, I just want you, kind of thing. So what about different religion? What, okay, what about different religions? Honestly, I've seen a lot of like couples get together with different religions all the time. I think, I don't know, if you make, for me, if you make a problem, it becomes a bigger problem in a relationship. So I don't really care about that. I don't care about their religion. I don't care about their weird quirks or hobbies. Like, yeah, it's the fun part, like learning all their quirks, but like, Tanash! Hi, Tanash! But I don't care. I don't care about that accessory stuff too much. Like I don't make a big deal out of it. I just care about the person. Does that make, I don't know. Does that make sense, Eric?
No, I get it. I mean, religion is very important though for a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I guess it depends how high of a value you place
On
your
religion.
religion over the other, and the person you like or love, and what they believe, and where they'll change their religion for you or not. Or I don't
Yeah.
know. I belong to a non-religion, so
So
and
it
I
wasn't an
respect
issue.
all religions. Uh, but for me, it's not a deal breaker for anybody if
Hi,
you know.
Dinesh. I'm glad you stopped to say hi. Are you sure you don't have time to spend with us and ask us some questions about, I don't know. Right now we're on the topic of long distance relationships. Doing a lot of extra mod stuff. Okay, no problem. You're a woman of many trades. Do your thing, girl. Do your thing. But I don't know. Like it depends on what you and your partner want. Well, firstly, like, do you place a high emphasis on your religion? That's the thing. So if you have to absolutely have her or him be the same religion, then yeah, that might be a deal breaker for a lot of people. Because like a lot of people put emphasis on their religion and they want to, like, especially for Christian households, like I want to grow with a Christian family and I want my kids to be Christian and all that, that kind of thing. Then yeah, if you want to have your kids and down the line grow up in that faith, and that's something you definitely have to consider. But if you have different religions and if you want to do this by cultural, by, what is that word, by religion, like a mix amalgamation, like that's where Christmas Hanukkah comes from, like people who celebrate Christmas and some people that celebrate Hanukkah at the same time, because like you have one of each. One question when being in a long distance relationship: how do you get rid of all the negative thoughts because you don't know what they're doing outside of your conversation? Oh,
You can either, well, I think that's all about trust. So
yeah.
you can either choose to trust someone completely or not, and if you can't trust them, you shouldn't be with them.
Well, I don't think it's merely just trust. I think it's how secure you are at the end of the day. Because, like, I don't
And
know.
we were just talking about that movie, The Kissing Booth 2. They were dealing with that issue of in the
You're not in a long distance relationship, but that is a good point, though. Like, I feel like a lot of people are not mature enough to have full trust. Like I get it. Like you have those lingering thoughts like, "Oh, I wonder what he or she is doing, blah blah blah." But like at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't care. I really don't like to waste time on that. But if you now wait, if you get inklings, then usually I don't let that gut feeling go, because like, okay, if some friends are saying stuff, then obviously there might be some stuff going on. What do you think about that, Eric? Like if friends start saying stuff like, oh, I saw him or she and she was doing this with him, and like if you hear rumors, then I would be concerned.
hmm. Well,
Girl, I was
I
bored.
guess
Okay.
if I found anything, I would have to confront them and be like, I heard you were so and so here and here, and I'm like, oh, and if they could, I don't know. I mean, it's a good question. Who
Bye,
calls her a
Tanash.
friend?
I did. I was bored. I had nothing to do.
Oh,
Okay, take your time, girl. Take your time. If you can't trust your halves, there's no point to be together.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's the point?
I know. I mean, I mean, you can. I don't know, because people are obsessed with each other. They need that person to keep them on check, but then they broke that trust years ago. But there's something about that person that makes them come back to.
Okay, Danaj, thank you. Yeah. But then,
Like I said, with me and Joe, it's been complete trust since 9 years. He has done nothing and I've done nothing to break that trust. So when he wants to go out with his friends, I'm like, yeah, I have no issues. I have not felt a type of jealousy and since the first year. I think when you first with someone the first year, you see them interact with certain people, you start feeling that that's my attention. That should be my attention. So you start feeling that jealousy. But once you establish, oh, he's not going anywhere, I'm not going anywhere, we're in it for life. Especially when you get married and you've already had that trust and you built on that trust, it's really I I don't know. There's just so much stress. Like he goes to his softball tournaments for the weekend or a week, and I don't think he's gonna be out there hooking up with anybody or getting drunk, having an accident. Also, Joe tells me everything immediately. If someone hits on him, oh, this happened, and even though he doesn't have to tell me, I appreciate it. And then I don't know, like it's just there's so much trust there. You don't really have that. I think that's the main person I trust in my life. That, and then there's my mom. Um,
Mm-hmm.
some friends I can trust. But then it's also when I see how they act with their relationships with their spouses or with their girlfriends or boyfriends, it makes me question how much trust I can have with someone who can't even have loyalty to their own spouse.
Oh, is that
So it makes
something
me
you want to elaborate?
no, I'm just we're talking about trust and
Yeah,
being honest. But your friendship is different. Your friendships with people are always different from their relationships with
whether
their
they're significant.
significant
Yeah.
other. Yeah, there's a lot of baggage there, and if but then they want to be with this person, but there's always gonna be whatever. But your friends are your friends for different reasons. But like I
Mm-hmm.
already told you, I don't open up to everybody.
Right.
I'm not always I don't throw that net and try to catch many friends. There's one or two, and then I focus my energy and then we can grow, we can bond. It's really nice. And there's no reason not to trust them. There's no reason. So I try to keep a honest relationship with them too. So there's no feel. But with my spouse, I have not no issues. It's complete trust. I don't know how to explain it. It's really nice. Sometimes I think about like, oh, it's nice because I could be like a wreck, like certain people are, and
Right.
I see them in their relationship. They're like all the time. They just like I called you and you didn't answer the phone, or I just called you 4 times. They're spending time with their friend me, and their significant other like, oh, I just called you 4 times. Why didn't you answer the phone? I'm like, I'm driving, or and it's just there's like no trust there, or there's something I don't know.
You think it has something to do with maturity level as well? Like I think so, like definitely. But what do you think like when it comes to people who don't have trust in their who start off that way, like they didn't they didn't cheat or anything, but they're like they have those tendencies where they're like, why didn't you pick up my phone? Like why didn't you pick up the call? Like stuff like
That's
that.
that's insecurity. Like what are they doing when they're not around? There's something that maybe their partner did in the past that they've been able to let go. Maybe something they need to communicate. If I call Joe and he doesn't answer, I don't think he's
I hate this kind of people.
yeah.
Me too,
If I
kind of.
call Joe and he doesn't answer, then I know he's busy. Sometimes we're all attached to our phones. That's true, and we walk around with our phones everywhere we go. But sometimes people are sleeping.
Yeah.
Some people put their phone down to charge and they're taking cooking. And there's no reason not to think, oh, they're ignoring me or what's going on. You know.
Like I know like sometimes I do that with friends, okay? I apologize on occasion because like some days I'm like, okay, I know you have your phone, right? I know you got your phone on you, but I guess that's something I myself I'm still working on. I'm not jealous like that with my husband, definitely not. But like when it comes to be like, hey, I called you. Did you see my text? Did you see my call? Why didn't you call me? Kind of thing. Like that's something that I have issues with. Like okay, I'm still trying to work on.
Well, if you're a friend, I send you a message through whatever social media or text message, and it's 24 hours since you haven't answered. Well, maybe something is going on, and
No,
I
not
don't.
like that. I'm not crazy, Sophian. I'm not that crazy. No, but what were you gonna say? Like, if you haven't responded 24 hours or so,
Well, I know it depends on the person. I take that back because I know there's like I have a friend, one of my one of my best friends. If he doesn't respond, then I know he's going through something, and he'll get back to me when he's ready.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other friends that are newer friends, and if they don't respond, then I probably take that more uh, as an offense. Then I don't want to talk to you if you're not going to respond to my messages. You know, I have those walls up. I'll drop you. I'll let you fall over the wall.
Damn, I'm gonna
I'll
drop
knock
you.
out that wall.
I think it's nice that you have that level of discernment with people, because then I know a lot of people haven't developed that yet, and that's when a lot of people end up getting hurt and all that. Do you think that's something that is automatically in someone to have that level of discernment, or is it just like some people just don't learn that kind of thing, where they always get hurt and blah blah blah, and then they're always
I don't know. I
miserable?
mean, everything's the way you think, the way you operate is all through the things you learn throughout your history and your past and the way you grew up. I never got that attachment. I told you, like, I would move every 5 years, and then
Hmm.
I never got attached to any friends. And then once I finally settled down in Vegas and I started to meet people, and I liked them and they liked me back, um, and then you start developing. Um, you make up your mind on what you'll take and what you won't take.
Right.
When I first came out and I started dating, um, I met someone and I got the number and I started to pursue them. But I only did it up to a point where I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm done. We hang out once in a while, but you're not really giving me that attention I deserve or need, and the attention I'm giving to you. So I was able to drop them. Like, okay, your number's lost.
Yeah,
Moving on.
Sophie, and do that. Just drop them. I think that's refreshing, because like people like they call like play the game, and then they string people along, and
I don't play games. Oh, I don't waste time. I don't like oops. I don't um like I'm gonna tell you exactly what's on my mind. Or if I want to hang out with you, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna be, hey, let's do something. And if you say no, then at least I tried, and I won't be thinking, uh, why didn't I? Maybe I should have done this. Maybe I should have done. No, you know what? I I want to be friends with this person. Let me give them a call. Hey, wanna hang out? Wanna get a coffee? Oh yeah, sure. And it's like, okay. I mean, you can't be afraid of rejection. The worst thing they can say is no, and then
yeah,
you know,
but I know that's hard for a lot of people to do, right? Like hearing no, because a lot of people don't like getting rejected. But I think
I guess
getting rejected is the best answer, because then you're like, okay, no, like I don't have to
then
waste my time on you, right?
yeah, then you can move on. I mean, it'll be hard, but so far, I guess I've been lucky that I have not been rejected so much, or I've been handling the rejection pretty well. I guess when I had pursued people and then they didn't show me that attention and I dropped them. And I'm like, oh, I moved on. They moved on. You know, we're both healthy. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's important to have healthy relationships and know your boundaries. You don't. What do you mean you don't? You don't like? Oh, I guess you still have the rest of your life to learn. But like for me, it took a long time. I'm still working on that as well. Like because I like to please people. I guess I grew up being a people pleaser, but like I'm still working on that myself. Where like, okay, I have to step back and stuff. But it's easier said than done. I know that for sure, Sophie, and you're not alone. It's just Eric is cold blooded. He cold blooded.
I don't
Little.
know. I don't know where I learned how to. I think I learned that from my mom too. Although I think she takes it to an extreme. If someone wrongs her, she's like, "Oh, fuck them."
Yeah.
I'm willing to give people a chance if they
Hmm.
ask for it. You know.
Well, that's true. Give them a chance if they ask for it. Nice.
I don't know. I just met really good people, and I think somehow I'm able to like pick at the people that. And I don't know. I always get that vibe, and then I know they're worth it. I use my hands a lot.
Me too. I think it's weird when people don't express that much. I would try anything that 2%. That 2% to get react, so I don't bother at it. So you don't get bothered. Is that what you're trying to say, Sophian? So, are you saying that you don't you want to practice it for 2%? The best tip. Interesting. But I think it is one of the skills that you consciously have to work on. Like going out of your way. Rejection, yeah. Shoot, like nobody likes it. Nobody likes because everyone wants to be liked, right? But at the end of the day, I think it's better to have people that actually want to be in your life, right, Eric? Like instead of like wasting your time. Your English sucks? No, it's pretty decent. It really is. It's not it's not bad. At least you're trying to write in English. But it really depends on what you want out of your friends. Like, do you want half-ass friends, Sophia? I don't want half-ass friends. Do you want half-ass friends, Eric?
No, no. Oh, I think I've been lucky with, like, I have a small circle of friends, and I can, like, I like spending alone time with them and then bonding with them, talking over hours, hanging out by the pool, or like really just open our minds and hearts. I like those type of friends,
Yeah.
and I have that that small group of friends that like
I think that's why we're friends. Because we like the same stuff. But oh, if there's any chance to get rejection.
well, there's a chance to get rejected, but there's also a chance of acceptance.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss out on things.
Like, what is that saying? You miss all the shots that aren't taken? Shoot your shot, bro. Shoot your shot.
Oh, that's a good one. Actually.
Like, and don't be afraid. Like, yeah, it sucks you get rejected, but at least at the end of the day, you don't regret not telling that person how you really felt. Did you know, fun fact, I'm the one who asked my husband out. I'm the one who basically told him I liked him first, so that's just me though. I'm bold.
Oh. Oh, me too with Joe.
Yeah?
Yeah, we went out to the bar and I knew I was gonna take him home.
Oh,
And
damn.
we were meeting through mutual friends.
Uh-huh.
At the end of the night, I already decided. So
I want this. I want this. That's fun.
And then I decided, oh, he's the one, and he wanted me too.
Yeah. So I think you should just go for it, Sophie, and whoever you like. Just don't go overboard with it. Just a nice balance, you know? Do it. Just do it. I asked him. Yeah, I did. I did. And it was in a game we used to play together. Do you think this is something that Manuel would like to join in one day? Let's have an open forum. You think
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be. It'd be like two guys and a girl. Just kidding.
Yeah, two guys and a girl.
No, that would sound weird. That would sound provocative. No, but like I think it'd be fun to have this open forum and just have random people ask their questions, and I hope it helps someone today. Do you feel the same way, Eric? Like it?
I do. I mean, we had our couple of people listen on, and hopefully they can take something from what we talked about. I mean, we always have these types of conversations. It's pretty nice. We can cover different topics.
Oh, thanks. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't always confident, Sophie, and like I was just like you, okay? Like I was shy and I didn't like going out of my comfort bubble, comfort circle or whatever comfort shape it is. But I think the more you start realizing that, okay, people don't really give a fuck. Like Sophie, like for real, like people don't really give a fuck about anything other than themselves at the end of the day. So like if you care too much about the little stuff, like oh how you talk and how you like, of course that matters in certain places, but like at the end of the day, if they don't accept you for how you are, fuck them, right? Like I don't know, that's just me. That's just, you don't have,
No, that's true.
yeah, you don't have to have everyone
That's
like you.
no. They're out of your mind. You move on.
And in Eric's case, he just drops him.
I push them over the wall.
Push him all over the wall. Cali girl? Oh, how do you know I'm a Cali girl? That's probably why. That's probably a Cali. You think that's a Cali girl thing? Like being outgoing and confident? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's a Cali girl thing. I just think it's something. You got the sunshine in your eyes? Eric said that the other day. You got the twinkle in your eyes. That's true.
Yeah, I think Camille's one of the most positive people I know. Happy-go-lucky. Uh, I've never seen her down, so when I do see her down, it's like she looks like a completely different person. Or when you're sad, or you're hearing some bad news, you look like someone I don't know when you're sad. Yeah, I'm not used to that look.
You're
You
not.
look
You're.
no, that like that one day we were having that talk, and and you look like you were introspective and but also kind of like bummed out, and as your face changed, like it's like your whole I'm used to that smile, so then when your face goes straight, it doesn't look natural. It
It
looks like
looks
someone else
weird.
completely.
I guess that would weird. I don't know. I guess that happens sometimes, but like, I don't care. It happens. You have an uncle that lives in LA. Yeah, I have a lot of people. Like, do you have relatives still in Cali? Eric?
Oh, you cut out for a minute. Yeah, yeah, I do. Most of them came. Excuse me. Most of them came out here to Vegas, or I moved to Illinois or Kansas for some reason.
Kansas. Why?
I don't know.
Arkansas. America, explain. Anyways, okay. So we're gonna start coming to a close to our podcast. But Eric, if there's one thing that you would like to leave for the podcast today, leave them on a positive note, what would you tell them?
Hmm.
Or let me rephrase
What's
it.
the best? Oh, maybe I could get. What's the best advice? Oh, communication is key.
Communication is key. You know what? I think that's so true. It's so true. Especially, like, I guess it
Yeah, you
really
gotta.
depends.
If you want something, you gotta say it.
Yes,
If you feel
Sophian,
something,
say
you gotta
it.
say it. If
Say
there's
it.
someone important in your life, make sure you say what you feel and you say what you mean.
Yeah. That was a good one, Eric. I think that's important. Well, yeah. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Thanks for having a podcast with me, Eric. Good
Oh
one.
yeah! Yay! Let's do another one soon.
Yeah. So I guess next time y'all could ask your questions on my Twitter or like on chat whenever. We'll talk about, we'll give you all the advice we can get, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you stopped by, both of y'all, everybody. I hope you guys had fun learning about hotel life for a bit and random relationships.
Yeah.
Good.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah, have a good one.
Thanks for joining us.
All right, maybe I'll come back later on and play some Overwatch if you want to join that. Stop by and say hi. Anyways, hope y'all have a good day. Bye.